I'm hooked. Hello and welcome back to another video where I'll be sharing my experience about the Raptgo Hook X IEM. This is a $240 IEM that utilizes a 14.2mm planar magnetic driver and a piezoelectric driver. I believe this is the first hybrid planar IEM, probably the first hybrid planar IEM at this price point anyway. Whatever it may be, let's see what this IEM has in store for our audio experience. For the accessories, you've seen the unboxing. Now, let's take a second to appreciate all the accessories that Raptgo have provided for you. Raptgo have blessed you with 3 sets of ear tips, all with 3 pairs of ear tips ranging from sizes from small to large, for a total of 9 pairs of ear tips, just in case you happen to lose 1 or 2. They're all the same design, so if you do lose 1 pair from either one of the sets, head to the other one. It also comes with this generic case, which has a really hard to zip. You had one job, zip. You know that feeling when you accidentally zipped up your clothing in it? That's the feeling of zipping this case. Not a biggie, just saying you need finger strength, so don't skip finger day. It also comes with this beautiful green and black cable with the plastic sleeve at the top, which holds its shape very well. And at the end of the cable, you have swappable terminations. Yes, that's right. You've got the 2.5mm, 3.5mm, and the 4.4mm termination. This should be a standard for any IEM at this price range and above. Well done, Raptgo. For the looks of the IEMs themselves, imagine an extruded capital D in block form. That's the Raptgo Hook X shape. It may look a little big and bulky, but from my experience, the shape of it with the length of the nozzle allowed for a comfortable fit. However, it is not the tightest seal, unfortunately. I needed the large ear tips to get a relatively good seal. Otherwise, you had the feeling of these IEMs falling off, even though it's secured in. It is an open back IEM, which is clear from the little holes at the faceplate. Despite this, there is little to no leakage of sound as you would expect out of an open back feature. You'd get as much sound leakage from playing really loud music as a closed back IEM. So don't let this open back design fool or fear you. Your music is safe between you and your ears. I do have one issue with these IEMs, and this happens a lot on the right side of the IEM instead of the left. I'm not sure what's the real cause of this, but fitting the soft ear tips or any other soft ear tips that I have in my possession, it produces some sort of sucking sound between the IEM and the ear tip. I believe because of this, just a gentle tap on the right side produces some sort of like sucking sound. In fact, any movement to the IEM inside your ear will produce this sound, unfortunately. So if you're walking around and you have strong footing, it's going to transfer the shockwaves from your foot to the ground all the way to your ears and move these IEMs. Physics, eh? If you're wondering if it's a seal issue, unfortunately this is caused by the nozzle and the ear tips. So no matter how tight your seal is, due to the softness of the ear tips, it's going to cause this issue. I've tried all of their stock ear tips, the ear tips from ICO's Obsidian OH10's accessories, and the soft tips CP145 ear tips. Unfortunately, they all have this sucking issue. So until then, I thought I'd mention this in case you're particular about additional sounds ruining your audio experience. If you're a ninja or a ballerina and you walk with your toes, or you don't move much with these IEMs in your ears, you'd be fine. So most of the time, I'm mostly on my desk in the office just listening to these IEMs and I'm not moving my head much. And in that scenario, it's all good. For my audio experience, let's start with the bass. The rumble in the jungle, the slam. Layman's terms, it's awesome. If you're comparing this with ICO's Obsidian OH10s, the OH10s is only a touch bassier, although I can't say I'll be able to tell them apart in the blind test if I'm completely honest. The Raptgo's bass is clean, it's deep, and that rumble just gets your head bobbing to the beat. That planar tech helps with the quickness of that bass attack, and I'm not sure if the piezo helps with the rumble of it because planars aren't really known for delivering that punch and slam. So if it's indeed the piezo, we should be having this combo in IEMs more often. For For the mid-range, vocals are not too forward or recessed. The instruments are only slightly behind the singers, so the vocals isn't as present or forward as some IEMs. So if that kind of positioning is important to you, where vocals should be a lot more forward, then you may not like what this IEM is doing. But the sound is warm, I mean it's relaxing, it's smooth, and the positioning lends itself into the illusion of a slightly wider than average soundstage. For the treble, this IEM is very forgiving to the higher frequencies. I'm extremely sensitive to sibilants and sounds from the 9 kHz region where it can get really piercing. So if I picked up any IEM that is treble orientated, chances are those regions are going to stab me in the ear. This IEM, however, does not have any of that, which is great for me, but not for anyone looking for that sense of clarity. However, this may depend heavily on your library. I listen to quite a few Asian songs with female vocals and they can get really sibilant, so this IEM is perfect to tackle those tracks. For the soundstage, as mentioned earlier, this IEM sounds slightly wider compared to some of the other IEMs I've owned. The sound feels like it's got room to breathe and travel around instead of just coming straight from the nozzle into your ear, even though that's literally what's happening. It's always hard to compare this feature for an IEM, but on the Raptgo Hook X, it was noticeable enough. I'm not sure if it's the open back feature, even though there's no sound leakage on the other side, which typical open back headphones do, which creates that width of soundstage. But again, that's not to say the soundstage of the Raptgo Hook S is comparable to any open back headphone. Don't be fooled, it's not even close. If you really want wide soundstage performance, get an open back headphone or a pair of speakers, not an IEM. For context, listening to the Raptgo Hook X would be like having one step away from listening to a violinist instead of having your ear right hard up against his violin. If you're hoping for that in the middle of a concert hall experience, just buy a ticket and attend one. You're never going to get that here. For the detail and imaging, I can hear sounds from different corners of the listening space. However, it's not as distinct and clear as other IEMs I've heard. I'm not sure if it's the treble performance that lends itself to this, but background sounds, especially when there's a lot of different sounds coming or even in an orchestra track, things sounded softer. Not in the sense where it helps create the illusion of depth in soundstage, it's still within the same space, but just not as clear. Don't get me wrong, that's not to say this IEM is not detailed at all, it's just not as detailed as some other IEMs. For the source gear, I can still power the Raptgo Hook X with my phone with about 20% of volume to spare, and I'll be pretty happy with the results. However, you do get very marginal increments in quality of sound with a higher source of gear. I do have to turn the volume knob slightly higher than usual on my HiFiMan EF400 at about 10 to 11 o'clock when other IEMs would go at about 8 to 9. In terms of difference in sound, it's really marginal, I have to emphasize that. However, the soundstage is slightly wider and slightly more open, the bass is slightly stronger in the rumble and slam, but it's not a huge difference that you need to have a higher source gear. If you have it, great. If you don't, you still be treated with great sound. So for conclusion, I'm hooked. Pun intended. This is easily my reference package in terms of overall value. For the sound alone, this sound is right up my preference. Strong, rumbly bass that doesn't bleed into the mids, wider than your usual soundstage. I'm happy with the smooth treble, but I can see how it can be a little too safe for people looking for that extra kick. If treble is a key factor in your sound, then look elsewhere. But if you're looking at the best all-rounder at this price point, I'd say Raptgo Hook X takes that spot. It's fun, it's warm, it makes my experience with the music very enjoyable. Oh, I love this IEM. That's been my honest experience with the Raptgo Hook X. Do let me know your thoughts about this IEM in the comment section down below. I hope you enjoyed the review. If you did, do consider hitting the like and subscribe button for more videos like these in the future. Till the next experience, have a great week.